Sir, then you joined the parachute regiment. So, my question would be, what motivated you back then to, opt for the parachute regiment?
Yeah. So thank you for asking that question, right? I think everybody gets attracted to commandos, right? Because right? Whenever you see somebody with a red cap, and that's different from everybody, and they say, "You commando," you look at them and say, "Wow, yeah, this is exciting, right?" यार ऐसे मेरे को भी बनना है. Hey, by the way, when I switch to Hindi, that's okay, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm hearing you say that's okay, right? हाँ, तो तुमको भी लगता है कि यार ऐसे बनने का है, यार तुमको भी स्टाइल चाहिए, लाल कैप, लोग बोले बरे ये यहाँ पूरे मेडल है, ये वो सब कुछ करके, you say यार I also want to become like that. So I think that fascination was there. But I think the real time when I engaged with this was when we had an instructor posted there by the name of, that time Major Jha, later on Colonel Jha, right? He remains one of my most inspirational role models and figures. And he's also from my same unit, from 9 Para Commando, 9 Para SF. But he was posted as an instructor. So there were other people also who may have been posted, but I never had like direct interaction or, But when I used to see this officer, there were 2-3 things about Major Jha. And I'm going to use Major Jha because he was Major Jha for most of my batch, right? Of course, he retired as a colonel, right? A very fine officer. There were 2-3 things about him that really inspired me. I think one was just his commitment. If something needed to be done, he would do it with detail. Tuck, 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 tuck. Right? He would just do it. No shortcut, no nothing. No thinking, "Arey, mere ko bhagna hai," nothing like, at times you might have somebody coming to NDA saying this is a peace posting. Abhi to wo field se tha, Kashmir mein tha, abhi peace mein hai. So you need to manage your family life also. So you do what is necessary, but then, right? But Major Jha would almost, he would almost go the extra mile. कि यार, this is important. तुमको ये सीखना है. अगर नहीं सीखोगे, उधर जाके मरोगे. And I don't want you guys to die. It was like, I don't want you guys to die. I want you guys to do a fantastic job in Kashmir or whichever war field we fight on. Right? And I'm going to ensure as an instructor that on my commitment, there is not one drop less. So I think that was one big thing about him, right? The second big thing about him was, I think, just his force of personality. He was a man. He is a man, right? He's Colonel Jha. He's a man who always lived his power in the moment, right? Means fully in his power, right? Now, once he was standing in his power, you can't push him. If he thinks that this is right, ab maar do unko, lekin you cannot shift him. Right? That ability to just stand. And subsequently, I have seen him, because I was fortunate enough that I went to the same unit and I've seen him in action, and I continue to see him, right? That and at some point I would actually say you should get him into this, right? There's some outstanding, right? Extremely inspirational, right? So what I saw is his force of personality coming from him living his life the way he believed he wanted to live it. His values, his ethos, right? And the third, I think, is just his sense of nationalism. Ki desh pehle aata hai, right? Desh pehle aata hai, right? Okay. So I think these are 3 things that really inspired me. So I was inspired by him to get into this, though I was really scared. And I got to share this with you, right? I got inspired by him, but I was fully scared and I didn't want to go into the Paracommandos.
Okay.
And I'm telling you as a, because many people can always give you that spiel that, yeah, I was this. No, I wasn't that. Okay. I got inspired, but I was still having a lot of self-doubt कि मैं जा पाऊंगा, हो पाएगा, नहीं हो पाएगा. So फिर ना NDA में काफी चटकी भी आप सीखते हो. वो क्या बोलते हैं, smarts बोलते हैं ना. In corporate, you might call it smarts. So basically what had happened was I was from a squadron called November Squadron.
Yes.
Okay. They call it ninjas, right? Yes. So I'm from November Squadron. तो वहां पे मैंने क्या देखा था कि पैराशूट रेजिमेंट में there's one unit that has 3 ninjas, one course after another, 3 ninjas. It's a record in the Indian Army. Okay, I don't think from one squadron 3 people from consecutive courses are all in the same unit.
Okay.
Right? Okay, तो ऐसा है एक unit, right? So that was 7 para, right? Now मैंने बोला यार मैं अगर उधर जाऊंगा तो ये 3 मेरे स्क्वाड टाइप के, थोड़ा तो मेरे को लिफ्ट मिलेगा और प्रोबेशन इतना मुश्किल नहीं होगा. See, that's the way you think, right? Because you're scared. You know, as a 19-20-year-old, as you're looking into getting into services and all, that fear is there, right? And many people who say I'll opt, they don't opt also. Okay, in India you'll have lots of people saying मैं भी commando opt you, मैं भी commando opt you, मैं भी para opt you. लेकिन वो जब टाइम आता है, they will find some reason why they didn't opt. Okay, so for me 9 para was out of question, right? I said यार ये तो इंडिया का सबसे टफ यूनिट है, and that is the image it carried, and in many ways rightly so, right? Because I've gone through that process. It's a unit that is very rigorous, right? But I thought I was not good enough for it. I thought 7 para में फिर भी थोड़ा सा lift मिल जाएगा from my ninja community. Maybe I can make it, but into a commando unit I can't. Maybe into a para unit I can, right? However, what happened is, unfortunately, when I went to Indian Military Academy और वो choice of arms हुआ, so in Indian Army there are some rules about going into a unit. One of it is called PC. Right? Okay. PC is basically parental claim. Okay. So if your father happened to command a unit or was the Subedar major of a unit, then you have PC1. यानी कि फिर तो आपको ही मिलेगा. Right? Or PC2, I think if he has served in the unit or something. So PC1, PC2 ऐसा होता है. So if that person goes to that unit, फिर आपको वो vacancy नहीं मिलेगा. Right? और मेरे कोर्स में क्या था कि one of my batchmates, his father had either commanded or served in 7 para.
Okay.
Right? Okay. और फिर मैंने बोला अरे यार इतना तो मैं 7 para कर रहा था मैं. Okay. And now it's gone out of my hands. Okay. It's gone out of my hands. अभी मैं क्या करूं? अभी मैं opt भी करूंगा तो I will not get it and I will go as a casualty. They say that whenever you don't get your unit, you'll go as casualty. फिर कहीं भी फेंक देंगे आपको. Right? So I said यार मेरे को नहीं जाना तो है उधर ही, लेकिन 7 para नहीं मिल रहा. And that is the first time I remember in that moment I was terrified, right? I said yeah 7 para लेकिन जाना तो है. So then मेरे दिमाग में आया कि why don't I go to Armored Corps, because Armored Corps is very stylish and all that. I said maybe I'll go to the Armored Corps and all, and then after going there then I'll volunteer so that अगर मेरा probation fail भी हुआ तो कम से कम वापस Armored Corps में आऊंगा. Okay, ऐसा भी था, थोड़ा सा मेरे को fancy था Armored Corps, you know, stylish guys. Okay. But then another thought came in my mind कि यार लेकिन क्या होगा अगर मैं उधर जाऊंगा and then I get too attached to that life. मैं soft बन जाऊं तो, और वो भी होता है. My sense is there may be many people who would have done the same thing कि they would have said कि मैं इधर पहले जाऊंगा और यहाँ से opt करूंगा, लेकिन इधर जाने के बाद वो कभी opt ही नहीं हुए. क्योंकि then they got settled, you know, life ऐसा ही होता है ना, energy settle हो जाता है.
Correct.
Right? And something happened. I can't really put my finger at it. कहीं तो मेरे मन में एक छोटा सा आवाज था जो बोला यार दीपक खेल मत खेल अपने साथ. तेरे को भी पता है तू आसान रास्ता ले लेगा तो कल तू पलट नहीं पाएगा, फिर वहीं पे चला जाएगा तू. अगर तेरे में अभी जो ये हिम्मत है, ये सबसे टॉप में है, अभी जो करना है कर, बाकी ऊपर वाले पे छोड़. Right? So I remember I was terrified. I was really terrified. Right? Commando unit, मैं यार क्या करूं? But I think sometimes what happens, and this is what I told you, SSB वाला चीज है ना, कि when you are in the face of a threat, what's your fundamental response? Are you the kind of guy who runs away, who freezes, or who attacks? I think मेरा में कुछ है कि मैं थोड़ा पागल हूं कि when I'm extremely under a threat, I think my fundamental is attack. Right? And I think in that moment when I got really excited, really afraid, I said, "Chalo, jao." I said, "Likh diya maine 9 para commando." I remember at that moment when I was writing, maybe my fingers were also trembling. But मैंने बोला यार अटैक तो करेंगे इसको यार, चलो टक. और जब वो लिख के दे दिया और आया, फिर मैं ऐसे कर रहा था. अभी क्या कर, you know? I remember I was very activated, and I remember from there, the place where I wrote that, I came out. I was virtually very, very activated, पूरा मेरा आवाज change हुआ था सब कुछ, and I was walking down and the commandant was coming, the assistant commandant, right? And he was a Gorkha officer, Major General, right? Indian Military Academy का deputy commandant था, and I was coming alone actually. साइकिल पे चला के आ रहा था because उस टाइम पे होश और हवास नहीं था. You're not supposed to go in singles in NDA or IMA. You're always supposed to be in 4, a squad of 4.
Yes.
But उस टाइम पे मेरा डर इतना था कि I was zoned out, right? कि यार मैं क्या किया? Did I do the right thing? Whatever. But I was in a very activated state. So at that time I was coming, and then suddenly I saw him walking up. I सोचा आज तो बड़ा punishment मिलेगा, और punishment बड़ा मिलता है if you're alone, right? So immediately I got down and said, good morning sir. और आजकल जैन सर बोलते हैं, लेकिन उस टाइम पे अंग्रेज वाला good morning या good afternoon था. Good afternoon sir. I hope that because of my voice he won't give me punishment. ठीक है. So he said, come here. Yeah, you came from Choice of Arms, because he also knew कि आज Choice of Arms हो रहा है पूरे academy में, right? For the final semester guys. What did you opt for? So I बोला, sir, 9 para commando, and he was from the Gorkha, so he's from the infantry. So the moment he heard infantry, हाँ यार ये para commando opt करने वाला means solid infantarian है ये. He said, very good, that's the way to do. करके ठप करके थपकी मारा उसने, मेरा सीना और थोड़ा चौड़ा हो गया, and then so, very well done. Do a good job. I said, yes, sir. Go. So immediately मैं बोला punishment तो बच गया. But then I felt a little proud also, right? लगता है ना, थोड़ा सा pride लगता है कि हाँ यार जो दिल ने बोला वो किया.
Correct.
Right? So I think that's really my story of going into 9 para, right? And by the way, after I left NDA, I didn't call this instructor because I remember telling him, Kishore, I'm very interested. वो सारे करते हैं. Academy में it is like even in a college, जब कोई बड़े कंपनी से आता है ना, तो सारे students like honeybees, they surround that person and try to make a good impression, right? Okay, I'm also interested. Google आता है, McKinsey आता है, कोई भी आता है, everybody, तो वैसा academy में भी करते हैं. कमांडो है तो everybody honeybees के तरह around a flower, they'll all try to come and make good impression. But after I left, I didn't speak to him after that for that year, because I didn't know कि मैंने बोला तो है कि I'm very interested करके, लेकिन मेरे में दम है क्या, या मेरी भी last minute में फट जाएगी मेरी, और मैं बोलूंगा कि भाई I can't do it. So finally when I opted, I remember after that from somebody I got his number and I made a call, and that time he was in Staff College Wellington.
Okay.
And I called him up. I said, sir, am I speaking to Major Jha? I think he was major only or lieutenant colonel, whatever, right? And I then said, yeah, Deepak. And I think he remembered. Okay, he remembered because I was one of those keen guys saying, right? And then I said, sir, मैंने opt किया sir आपके unit के लिए, right? And I just felt so happy then, right? Okay, I just felt happy that ठीक यार जो मैंने बोला कम से कम I've respected what I said. Yeah. So that was a bit, so a slightly longish story, but yes, that is how finally I opted.
Correct, sir.